Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Manhal Schools American Diploma for Math, inshallah. Today, inshallah, welcome to grade 8 students. Today, inshallah, I will study a new lesson in geometry, which is polygons in coordinate plane. Polygons in coordinate plane. But first, you will need some rules you studied that before on the coordinate plane, which are distance formula, which is distance equal square root x2 minus x1 all power 2 plus y2 minus y1 all power 2. The number 2 midpoint formula, which is sum of x's over 2 and sum of y's power 2. And slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, for example, if I have a line segment like AB, okay, where A is 2 and 5 and B is 5 and 1. How to get distance, midpoint, and slope? First, what about distance between A and B, which is length of AB? So I can say square root of x1 minus x2 or x2 minus x1, okay? So I can say, what about x1 and x2? x1 is 2, x2 is 5. Okay, so we can say 2 minus 5 over all power 2 plus 5 minus 1 all power 2. Then you can evaluate it. It will be 5 finally. Okay, it's easy. But what about midpoint of AB? Midpoint of AB, which is the point midpoint in the middle between A and B, equals sum of x's power 2 and sum of y's power 2. So we can say 2 plus 5 over 2 and 1 plus 5 over 2. So the midpoint of AB is 3.5 and 3. This midpoint of AB. But what about slope? Slope equal y2 minus y over 1 over x2 minus x1. So I can find the slope using 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 5. Or 1 minus 5 over 5 minus 2. Okay, the same answer. Okay, it will be 4 over negative 3. So it will be negative 4 over 3. Okay, these rules, you will need them in this lesson. Okay, for example, number 1. Triangle TRI has vertices T, negative 3 and 4, R 3 and 5, 3 and 4, and I is 0 and 0. Is triangle TRI scalene, isosceles, or equilateral? Has how to mention type of triangle according to its sides? Yes, sure, you will need rule of distance. Rule of distance. How? First, find length of each side. You have 3 sides, TR, RI, and TI. So I must find TR first using distance rule, distance formula, square root of x1 minus x2 all power 2 plus y1 minus y2 all power 2. So you can evaluate that. It will be 6. Okay, this what? TR and RI equal by the same formula equal 3 minus 0 all power 2 plus 4 minus 0 all power 2. It will be 5. But the third side and the last side is TI equals square root, okay, negative 3 minus 0 all power 2 plus 4 minus 0 all power 2. If you evaluate that, it will be 5 else. So we noted that, guys, you have 2 equal sides and the third side is different. So what's this triangle? Sure, isosceles. Okay, why? Because you know, guys, isosceles is a triangle has 2 equal sides, but equilateral has 3 equal sides, but scalene has different sides. Okay, this exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, Determine whether triangle ABC is scalene isosceles equilateral and explain. First, AC, we can find that using counting. It's easy for you. AC is 1, 2, 3, 4. So AC equal 4 units. But how to find AB and CB using distance formula? How? First, mention coordinates of each point. A here is, yes, good, -2 and 3. But B is 2 and 2. So you can find AB square root x minus x, -2 minus 2, all power 2, plus 3 minus 2, all power 2. 3 minus 2, all power 2. Then you can evaluate it. It will be square root of 17. Okay, this AB. But what about BC? You can find BC, okay, by the same rule, but mention C first. C is -2 and -1. Okay, then you can find the BC by the distance formula. How? BC is -2 minus 2 all power 2 plus -1 minus 2 all power 2. Then you can evaluate that to be, the first will be 16, the second will be 9, so it will be square root of 25, which is 5. So the sides are 4, square root of 17 and 5. We noted that they are unequal sides, different sides. So this triangle is what? Yes, excellent. Is scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. Okay. This is exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 is QRST below rectangle and explain. Okay, how to check this figure rectangle or not? Okay, first we must check these points, these vertices represent parallelogram first or not. Okay? Okay, first you can find slope of each side of this figure, okay? But first mention coordinates of every point. R is, yes, good, is 2 and 2. Coordinate of R is 2 and 2. S is 6 and 1. T is 5, -2. But Q is 1, -1. Okay, first we need to find slope of RS. Slope of ST. Slope of TQ. And slope of QR. Okay. What is the rule of the slope? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So slope of RS is 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 6. It will be -1 over 4. But slope of ST is 1 minus -2, which is plus 2, over 6 minus 5. 1 minus -2 over 6 minus 5. It will be 3. Slope of TQ is -2 minus -1, which is plus 1, over 5 minus 1. It will be -1 over 4. And QR, okay, slope of QR. So QR is, slope of it is -1 minus 2 over 1 minus 2. It will be 3. So we notice that every two opposite sides have the same slopes. So we can say, each two opposite sides are parallel. So the figure here is parallelogram. But the parallelogram, you know, parallelogram may be rectangle, may be square, maybe any other figure. Okay? But how to check? Okay, check any two adjacent sides. RS and ST, for example. RS and ST, for example. If slope 1 times slope 2 equal -1, so they are perpendicular, so the angle between them is 90. So the figure is rectangle. But -1/4 times 3 not equal -1. So this figure is not rectangle, is not rectangle. So the answer is not. Okay, just you can say this figure is a parallelogram. Okay, next exercise. Determine whether the parallelogram is rhombus, rectangle, square, or none. First example, how to check this parallelogram is rhombus or not. First, I can go to, yes, you can check this figure, maybe rectangle or square first. How? You can find slope of any two adjacent sides. For example, PO, and OS. How? Find slope of PO first, then find slope of OS. If the slopes of product -1, so this figure will be square or rectangle. But if the slopes are not perpendicular, the product of the slopes is not equal -1, so the sides are not perpendicular, so the figure impossible to be rectangle or square, so maybe rhombus. Okay, let's go to slope of PO. Slope of PO is 2 minus 0, y minus y, over x minus x, -1 minus 0. It will be -2. Slope of OS is 0 minus 0 over 0 minus 4. It will be 0. So slope 1 times slope 2 not equal -1. So this figure, it's impossible to be rectangle or square because no right angle. No right angle. Okay, but how to check this figure is a rhombus or not? How to check? You can check this figure is a rhombus or not using, yes, slope of diagonal. So we will need to find slope of OT and slope of PS. Okay, how? Slope of OT is 0 minus 2 over 0 minus 3. It will be 2 over 3. But slope of PS is 2 minus 0 over -1 minus 4. -1 minus 4. It will be -2 over 5. If the two diagonals are perpendicular, so the figure is rhombus. But the two diagonals are not perpendicular. Not perpendicular. So this figure is not rhombus. So this figure is not rhombus, not rectangle, not square. So this figure is just parallelogram. Okay? So this figure, none of rhombus or square or rectangle. Thank you for listening and complete after inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.